She's the magnificent, the queen.
What's up, guys? How y'all doing? Haven't seen y'all in a little while. But listen, I wanted to tap in today to talk about Melvin Coles, which is Puff Daddy's father. And I have a street father, I have street uncles or whatever. And, I have reached out to one of my uncles and, I asked him, did he know his father? And he said, yeah, he knew him very well. He also told me that Puffy dad, this is probably where Puff get his hustler mentality from too, his father. Not only was he a hustler in the street, but supposedly my uncle said that Melvin had a very upscale dog grooming business back then. So I'm sure he was probably his clients, and he said on the Upper East Side. So I'm sure his clients were white folks who cared about their precious dogs. You know how they do. They'll leave the whole will. In the will, they'll leave the whole fortune to the dog and the cats. But anyway, yeah, so yeah, Melvin, Puff probably got that hustling mentality from his pops, Melvin Coles. And my uncle was saying that he definitely did some business. Puff's father, did some business with Nikki, because my uncle was around at that time and he was cool with them as well or whatever. And I know in the text it says something about him trying to get away from the Italians and get under Nikki and them, but I don't know. But I was listening to a podcast of these two guys. It was done over a year ago. And in the podcast, this is what they were saying about Melvin Coles. I think they called him Pretty Melvin Coles. And yeah.
Jesus Christ was the biggest drug lord in Harlem from the time Bumpy Johnson died in 1968-69 until about 1973 when the Jesus Christ, whose real name was Willie Abraham. A lot of people just called him JC, but JC was short for Jesus Christ. And he ran Harlem for about 3-4 years. And his top lieutenant, or one of his top lieutenants, was Pretty Melvin Coles. And Pretty Melvin was Puff Daddy's father. And wasn't just some low-life street figure that dabbled in dime bags and hand-to-hand transactions. This was a major player, and was also that drug dealer, meaning Willie Abraham. Pretty Melvin Coles acted as Abraham's go-between for both Frank Lucas and Nicky Barnes in the early days of both of their respective organizations. So Pretty Melvin Coles got arrested in November of 1971 with 5 pounds of uncut China white heroin and $50,000 in cash. And in the subsequent weeks and months before he was murdered, there were a series of federal raids and arrests and traffic stops where people were getting caught with dope, and businesses were being raided, apartments were being raided. And the belief of the Abraham organization was that Melvin Coles had flipped and turned government informant. I know Puffy has been pretty adamant when he discusses it, saying that that was not the case, that his dad just was murdered in a drug deal gone wrong. But every
So yeah, I asked my uncle about this Jesus Christ guy, and he was like, he didn't really recall, but from there, these guys, shout out to the it's called the Original Gangster Podcast. Shout out to them. They were saying that from their research, he was under this guy named Jesus Christ. I think his name was Willie Abram, and they also called him JC, short for Jesus Christ. And supposedly Puffy's dad was arrested, and then it seems like after his arrest, there was a domino effect of arrests, other arrests, and people getting locked up. So they assumed, maybe this is alleged, that he was talking, and me talking to my uncle, he said the same thing, that the word was that he was hot. That he was hot. Now, I seen Puff do he was at some college. Matter of fact, I think it was at Howard. He came back to speak or whatever. And he was saying how his mom told him that the father had died in a car accident. But later on, when he did his research, it said that he was killed, was it a car accident or a drug deal going bad or something like that. But I'm sure he probably may have heard that, his father was killed because they thought he was a turned informant or whatever like that. So, you just wonder, as a kid, did Puff hold that against his mom for not actually telling him the truth? Because if you look at Gene Deal, and Gene Deal talks about how Puff disrespected his mom one day till he told Puff, like, I will F you up if you ever do that again. Did he ever hold that against his mom? It might be some strange stuff going on when it comes to that. And Puffy and his mom, I'll probably do that in another video, because it gave me the creeps when someone pointed something out to me in contrast to what Cassie said in her lawsuit. So yeah, it's pretty weird. So yeah, make you think, did Puff hold that against his mom, and did he ended up hating women because of that, because of how he treated women? You just never know. But yeah, his dad was a nice looking guy. And yeah, these are early pictures of him and Puff and, Mama Combs. And it's just like, you just never know. Somebody could be rich with all this money, but their past will F them up. It could be the small things, by not having a father figure there. He just probably felt resentful because he missed out on his pops. You know what I'm saying? So you just never know. All this craziness that's coming out on Puff, it's crazy. It's really, really crazy. And Puff went to, my friend, I have a friend, good friend. Me and her been friends over 20-something years. Yeah, we've been friends over 20-something years, and she grew up in Mount Vernon with Puff, Albie Shore, Heavy. Mount Vernon is small. And she grew up with all of them. She knows Puff, like knows him like that. But he'll act like he don't know nobody. Go figure. But anyway, she told me how his mother took him out. I think she took him out of the high school and put him in Mount St. Michael. And here's a video of Mount St. Michael. Okay, this is Mount St. Michael Academy. This is where Puff went for high school. It's in Mount Vernon, where he grew up at, like I told y'all. This is the campus. Now, no, I didn't come all the way up here to take the video. I have an apartment up this way. So, this is Mount St. Michael. Now picture it. Back in the day, all boys school. Now y'all remember back in the day, Catholic schools had brothers and nuns. All boys school. Mostly white kids probably went to this school back in the days. And like I said, they had brothers and nuns. So you never know what Puff may have experienced at the all-boys school for him to behave the way that he does. But a lot probably had to do what he had to do once he got into the industry. So that is Mount St. Michael all-boys school where Puff went. So Mount St. Michael is an all-boys school. And it makes you think. It'll make you wonder. Now that stuff is coming out, it's an all-boys school. Now, y'all know back in the days, we had nuns and we had brothers in our Catholic schools. Definitely here in New York City, you know, the surrounding areas. And nuns used to go whip your ass back then, too. But then we had these brothers. Now that y'all seeing 30 years ago how, you know, the archdiocese, they were getting sued. Recently, from what happened 30 years ago, because of the sexual assaults that they were, doing, you know, to the boys or whatever. So you just never know. You know, when stuff comes out, it kind of makes you wonder, like, what happened? Like, when did it start? Did it start there? Did it start there? You know, when? Because you have a guy, allegedly, he stated that Puff assaulted him in Howard. Now, this is college. So you got to think, did something happen to you in high school? To make you act out like that. Now, you going to college. And the guy is saying that allegedly he still has the clothes from 1989 that he was wearing when he was assaulted. If he got these clothes and they are tested, do y'all know how much of a game changer that would be? That would be a game changer. Like, it's like, boy, you in trouble. Like, I mean, you're already in trouble. The world already looking at you crazy. Nobody's going to really, you know, want to deal with you. But, you know, hey, they did it the bit. Can y'all? I know R. Kelly sitting in jail like, y'all got me in here for effing girls doing the do when this nigga Puff was sex trafficking and all kind of stuff. Yo, let R. Kelly need to be released immediately. I'm Team R all day. Team R. Kelly all day. I've been like, nah, I know he in jail like, are you serious? For having sex? Yeah, he did some crazy stuff, and I think he does have issues. Yes, R. Kelly has issues. But some of them women were grown. All that, I survived him. When you willingly went somewhere, girl, bye. I don't feel, I can't feel sorry for some of them women. I can't. And then for some of the young girls, some of their mothers actually took them backstage and then let them go. Like, stop it. But yeah, I know R. Kelly sitting in jail. Like, ain't this some shit? That nigga in the TV room eating popcorn, saying to his neighbors, y'all see this shit? I know he got to be doing that because ain't no way in hell. Let that man go and put him in therapy. Puff need to go to jail because he got all the stuff that Cassie said. Then you got so many people that died around you mysteriously and all that stuff. It's like, I don't know. I just don't know. What y'all think? I don't know. I don't know how this is going to end. But inshallah, I'll be here to see it all through. I want to see it all through. God willing, I want to be able to see it all through. For real, I want to see it all through. Now, this is what I was looking at. I was looking at this photo. Now, I'm going back to Cassie's allegations and how Puff said he wanted her to wear the white nail polish so he could see it on the black skin of the guys that they were hiring to do the do with. And look at this picture of Puffy's mother with white nail polish on. This sickness he has could be deeper than we think. I'm just saying. But it makes you think. It makes you think. Let me tell you something. Y'all ever watch like Lifetime movies? I haven't watched Lifetime in years, but you know, they used to have these kind of funny shows and things with mothers and sons or family members. Just this crazy stuff. I remember seeing, I think, a crazy episode of Law and Order of a mother and son and their relationship. It was very weird. But the white nail polish that his mom wore, you making women wear it because to do this, like, it's sick. Could be a thing where he resented his mom. I don't want to say that something crazy was going on or happening. But, you know, sometimes you could resent someone so much for whatever they did. You know, I don't know. Like, even with the beatings of the women. Like, where did you learn that from, Puff? Like, did you see your mom get beat? Like, where does that come from? But I do know a lot of men beat women that are very insecure. He could be fine, he could have money, he could have this, he could have that, but he has a lot of insecurities. And he beat his woman. I don't know about the beating thing, and I try to be so sympathetic to it now because I know, you know, some women just can't get out of it. I've never been beat. I'm effing you up, nigga. We gonna fight. We gonna go toe to toe. I don't do the beating thing. I just don't understand it. I don't. And I do understand that women are physically and mentally abused. And I don't want to, you know, not have compassion, you know, for them. Because I do. Because I had known someone some years ago who, you know, went through some stuff. But I just can't, you know, thank God it never happened to me. It would not have happened to me, you know, especially with my father, Keith Taylor. He ain't play. he ain't play. Man, woman, or child, he F you up for his kids. Yeah, he done chased dudes down the hall that would follow me upstairs when I was coming from school. And, you know, just playing around. He flying down the hall in dress socks and boxers. What? Keith? Never played. Nope. He even fought my brother-in-law, my sister's son's father one time. She was like, get off me. I'm telling you, my father coming. And his friend, Roy, walked up the block. She was like, that's my father's friend. Next thing you know, all you hear is them hard bottoms running down the block. For my brother-in-law. Because I guess my brother-in-law was trying to make my sister go upstairs or roughing her up because of something or nothing. He wasn't really beating her, nothing like that. But yeah, my father don't play. But like Terry, we loved him. That's my brother-in-law. My whole family loved him. He was the son, like, that my mother never had. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. But I say all that to say, like, yeah, I don't do the beat thing. But yeah. But, you know, you got to wonder, like, where did Puffy learn this stuff? A lot of stuff is learned behavior. You know, Clive Davis, allegedly, you know, he's openly gay. So, you know, who knows what happened and what Puff had to do to sacrifice for that power. He had to sacrifice for that power, y'all. And that sacrifice, it was huge. And I kind of almost want to feel sorry for him because it's like the war that's going on in that man's head and the demons because you got to be dealing with demons in order to be acting out like that. You want to see a man, you know, doing your people, but you're getting off on a dude. Like, you might as well just come out. Because if you're bisexual, there's nothing wrong with that. But be honest, because somebody's still going to mess with him because he got money and power. They ain't going to care. He's still going to get the women. That ain't going, you know, but at least it will give us an idea of the demons that he was fighting. And it might alleviate some of the burden, as well as some of the stuff that's about to come down on him crazy. Because if these men start coming out, it's like you might as well come out before them. I don't know. But yeah. But yeah, that was just my thoughts on that, and a little bit on Melvin Puffy Combs, and, you know, a little bit on Puff. You know, it just make you think and makes you wonder, and you try to figure out where did all this hate come from that's in him, and the abuse that he had put upon like Kim and Cassie and whomever else, and even threatening one time, like Komora said he threatened to hit her, and then Mark Curry said he threatened to spit in some other chick's face. Yo, that's the ultimate. That's when you get a dagger through the spit. Then I'd rather be punched in the face than be spit on. Yo, nah, kid, we ain't doing that. But yeah, anyway, just you know, food for thought for the day. Just trying to figure that out. But yo, peace. You know, I love talking to y'all. You know, I like to come on every now and again and give my opinion and stuff. I seen somebody the other day, they was like, yo, Miss T. No, they was like, T, because they know me. Yo, T, yo, keep doing what you're doing. Why you don't be going up? Because I be busy, and this takes time. And I just don't always want to come up and be talking about nothing. But, you know, yeah. You know, when I feel like there's a need for something to say, then, you know, I say it. But, yeah. So I talk